Hey, hi, hello everybody. I am in my 7x9 monthly Erin Condren planner where I'm going to be setting up my February budget kit. And today the budget kit I use for is from Casey Lee Design. She's got an Etsy shop. Love her setups for the budgets. So we're gonna just go ahead and jump right in and get this started. I'm gonna go ahead and set this to the side so we can go ahead and open up our February pages so we can go ahead and set those up. So first off, we're gonna start with the monthly layout. Absolutely, I'm a huge gnome fan. Like, I love gnomes. So glad that that's there. So we're just gonna go ahead and set this up right here. Although, let me see, might fold it so it's a little easier. I do need it at a bit of an angle, so I'm sorry if that bothers you, but everything can't be perfect. You know, I can't have it both ways if I want it set up nicely for you guys. But look at that. It looks so stinking gorgeous. I love this kit that there's like a lot of red and not so much of the pink. I do love pink. I mean, I do love the red. I'm not a big fan of the color pink. Like, it's never been my cup of tea. But I will say some of the other sticker kits that I'm using for the majority of like the rest of my other 3 planners do have a lot of pink, which, I mean, the sticker shop that I purchased from, like, she loves pink, so she does a lot of pink, which, again, I mean, that's what she likes and that's what she creates, which is fine. I would love to see a little less of the pink parts. But again, I still love the other kits, but Casey Lee does amazing kits. Like, I do love her kits, which I'm glad that I'm able to use like at least the budget kits for the planner from her. So yes, I'm happy about that. All right, let me go ahead and put these stickers on and I will be right back. And we're back. All right, as you can see, I did leave these 2 dates without the date dots, and that's because I do have well, obviously the 14th is Valentine's Day, but I do have a birthday on the 2nd, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put one of these boxes. And we're gonna go ahead and put one on Valentine's Day just to make it a little extra special. And then we're gonna go ahead and put the dots. In the past, sometimes I have put them on and then I take them off, but it's a bit more tedious to do it that way. And I do love the way this looks, so I'm actually gonna put I did just notice that this kit doesn't really, I think that's a little too much. Maybe we'll just do the little, we'll just do this one. I feel like it's a little too much of the, like the red and like tan color right there. All right, and then we're going to, so I'm only putting things that like affect my budget on here because this is my budget book. This is kind of get filled up with like my bills, and so I don't want to do like a whole lot on it, but anything that basically affects my budget, I want to go ahead and like put down, because then even if I come back and do like a little look-see look, I'll know, you know, like I have something going on for those days. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put the sidebar. Look how beautiful that is. I love this. It really does look amazing. All right, so we went ahead and got our monthly setup. I will end up doing a key because of these. I usually use like bills, debt, and subscriptions. I use like different colors. That's why I always get two, so I can make sure like they all match, which is something that I learned in December. So January is looking a little crazy because I ended up putting some things that this month I'm gonna end up putting them in a different way so it doesn't look so cluttered, I guess. So this I'm gonna go ahead and do probably last. I am going to, so we're here, we're gonna go ahead and do it says perpetual calendar, but Casey Lee doesn't do like an actual calendar. She does these note pages, and I do know exactly what I'm gonna use this for, so I mean that's okay. And again, I do mark the pages just so that like when I'm doing this I don't feel so like scattered brain, I guess. And usually with this, what I do, so I like to take off part of this sticker and just fold the back, and then I go ahead and just line it up to the bottom. And will that work? Yes, that will work. And then I just take off the back slowly and just lay it flat, and that's how it looks. I don't mind that you could see through. I don't even know if you're able to see the lines through the video. I did mix it up a little bit because you could still see the lines on the side, but that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it that way. And then our monthly budget is what goes here, and that is this one. I love this. It's so beautiful. And what I like to do is I usually like to line it up to the first line here. And then and just lay it down, and then, you know, we go ahead and do the rest. And again, I just try to line it up with the line under. And I usually do 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna do 5. Oops. For the income portions, because sometimes I get income from multiple sources, so I want to make sure to leave enough room for that in the monthly, so like the overlook of everything. And then we're going to go ahead and put our variable expenses here. And our fixed expenses, I'm just gonna turn it this way. There's usually like a slight space in between right here, you can see. So then we go ahead and do the totals. And I will go ahead and do it this way. Oops. And then we'll go ahead and put our washi strip at the bottom. Oh, that does not look. Oh, yes, I see. Okay, I'm gonna just line it up with the line here, and then go across, and then that's good. And then we'll just go ahead and put this one here. All right, so oh, look at that, we used the whole page, which is great. Always love an empty page for the stickers, although I do have plenty of books that I could put my extra stickers. So the only thing needing here obviously is the budget, but again, I'm gonna wait till it's closer to the end of the month because it is currently the 22nd of January. And we're gonna go ahead and wait for that. And then we have our paycheck 1 and paycheck 2. So we are gonna just do something. I feel like I snapped this out. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put our paycheck 1. Here we are. So I have paycheck 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I usually do based on like the Saturdays. That's how I do my paycheck, because sometimes I do get paid on Fridays, and even if I get paid throughout the other days in the week, sometimes my last income does come in on a Saturday, so I'd rather just kind of budget out for Saturdays. So I'm gonna go ahead and again do the same thing we did before. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay down all 4 paychecks, and then I will be back. finished all the paychecks. And we are going to move on. So the next one that I do is cash envelopes. And here it is. And you're going to see that some of these I use very differently. So, which I'm excited for. I haven't seen anybody use it the way I'm using it. So maybe it'll help, you know, some of you get an idea of like what you can do with it. Which is like amazing. If like you guys, you know, my objective doing these videos is obviously holding some kind of accountability with myself, but also to inspire and possibly give you guys ideas. And I do have to look back for this because I did do it differently. So I do keep this part. I do like this. I'll just end up putting like a washi over this, which is fine. I don't know why I'm whispering. I just, you know, when you're talking to yourself or trying to make something and then it just happens that way. Okay, so, okay. So I did get some washies, but I don't know if they're going to serve. Oh, actually, why don't I do this? These might work, although none of them are like actually the same, but it's okay. So again, because I am doing this a tad bit different, I'm just gonna go ahead and cover those up. I guess I could look for something else, like something that will work if I continue, but I don't mind. I don't mind it looking like that, because what I end up doing, actually I don't know if I covered that one up. I did. Okay, so let me, again, this is one of the things that I love, is that you can like take off the stickers and lay them down again, just for the purposes of what I'm doing right now. Works just amazing. The other thing is that it's not going to be perfect, and I will end up having to cut one of these. So, like I said, I mean, let me see if I could just swipe it with this. So maybe not. I mean, it looks like it cut through. I really need to find my X-Acto blade. But anyways, that'll work. This could be like week 1. Although I don't have a 5th week this week or this month, so just have to see how that kind of plays out, I guess. Alright, so that's my cash envelope. I do have these leftovers, which I'll just figure out if I want to use those for something else. And then we do, so that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and do our sinking funds, which I do enjoy. But that's where my kind of creations start to happen. because I'm going to be using these for my sinking funds. So okay, let's go ahead and just get started. Obviously, we get a header. And we get the bottom. And I will come right back once I finish putting all the ones that I need. Okay, and we are back. So I do use 5 pages for my sinking funds, and once I fill it out and finish, you'll see why. And okay, let us continue, and now we're going to go ahead and work on our expense trackers, which I did only get 3. Let me see, 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna go ahead. I do have one more, so if I do need another tracker, I can use one. Okay, we'll just figure this part out, I guess. Because last month I got too many of some and not enough of others, so I did it a little differently. So we'll see how this one turns out. So let me go ahead and lay these trackers down, and I will be back. And I'm back again. I don't know how many times I've said that. And lastly, in this one, we are going to go ahead and do my debt tracker. Go ahead and put that there. This is one of my biggest focuses this year, is to pay off debt, because I don't know, I feel like being like on basically inconsistent income, because when you're, you know, self-employed, you don't always make the same amount week to week or even month to month. So being in debt while dealing with that is just not fun, especially having 3 kids and then having multiple fur babies, because I do have multiple dogs, which I love and adore, and those are my babies that keep me company when my human babies are at school. So yes, that is the setup. I will go ahead and I still have to do the lines. I still have to set it up, because so one thing on my expense tracker, I track 2 different accounts. So I have an account that's just for my bills, so I track that account, and then I track what I call like my spending account, I guess, where everything else that's not a bill comes out from. And then obviously I track my debt and what I pay on a monthly basis to kind of just see that number go down. So I don't usually use 2 full pages for my bills because it's pretty, I guess, straightforward, but just in case, we're gonna go ahead and just leave it. And then these are my sinking funds ones that I just did this one because, like I said, I am doing that differently than the way they set it up. Because usually you set up your sinking funds per paycheck, per like week or every 2 weeks, depending on how you get paid. And then, but I do it a little differently, and I'll just show you. I did a horrible job this month about tracking stuff. So so this right here is my cash envelopes, and the way I set it up, although I don't know if I'm going to do the balance part, but I think I'm just going to do like week 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and just, because this is where I just kind of cut it to continue the weeks. But I think I just might leave it. So these are like, those are like my cash envelopes, the ones that I spend kind of on a weekly basis, basically. And then, so this is where I did my sinking funds. So the way I set it up, I just numbered the weeks. And obviously this month for February, we'll have for like week 1 through 4, but the January had week 1 through 5. And then I just basically, so I have my bills binder, my long term, my short term, my kids binder, my car binder, my pet binder, my holiday binder, and then I have a Christmas one specifically. Although I don't know if I'm gonna have a Christmas specifically one, but it's a work in progress. And then I have my business binder, and then I have a month ahead binder. So I'm trying to get 6 months ahead. So this is the way that I track this one. Look, like I haven't even taken this off. I don't even know why that's there anymore. And then I didn't track it all. I basically stopped on the 6th, which that was horrible on my part. Before I started doing it on here, I was doing it on the computer. And I'm on the computer all the time because of work. So I was like, but doing it on paper now, because I had gotten so used to the computer, it's a work in progress. But I am going to do better this month. But I had like the expense tracker. So, and I just put like bills, because this is like my bills account. And then instead of doing like I guess like a weekly check-in or just categorizing, I do color coordinate, which I haven't done it here, but I will start to put like week 1 and everything that I was paid for or covered by week 1, and then week 2, and so on and so forth. And then this is like my spending account, which you'll see there. But again, I did horrible at that. I did track all my debts, and I'm gonna try to not show that part. Because I do owe a few people, and just in case people. Alright guys, we're gonna finish off this video because I got cut off on the video because my alarm rang that I had to go pick up one of my kids. But this is the overview once I put down all of my bill things. I do have a little key right here just to give me an idea. And then this is the perpetual calendar that I'm using, and I'm just using it to track my income on a daily basis, and then just put the total right here. And then this is like what I'm hopeful to get this month, my fixed expenses and my variable expenses, and these are just by the type of binders that I have. And then obviously have paycheck 1, paycheck 2, paycheck 3, paycheck 4. And then this is where it gets interesting. So this is my cash envelopes. And then instead of doing it per week, like the envelopes, I just put week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. So I can put down like what I'm putting exactly in each week. And it's the exact same idea for my sinking funds. So again, just week 1 through 4. And then we have the ending balance at the end of the month, and then the envelope type. So my bills binder, my long-term binder, my short-term binder, my kids binder, my car, my pets. And then I have holidays and my month ahead binder and a business binder. So same idea. And then we go into my expense trackers. And this is for my bills. So I don't know. I just wrote it on this little thing because I didn't really want to cover up. But it just says bills on this little arrow right here. Obviously, it's not February yet, so I still gotta wait to fill this out. But so I put 2. We'll see if I really do need to. And then this is my spending account. Again, I just wrote spend on this little arrow thing. And then this one, I didn't have like a header to put or like an extra expense tracker, which if I don't use a third one, then next month I'll just order, like if I do find myself using one, then next month I'll just order 4 expense trackers. And then obviously I have my debt tracker at the end. So some of these, I'm okay with sharing. Don't want to put, because most of my debts are like personal loans. And just in case someone, you know, that actually knows me sees this, I don't want there to be anything complicated, because I don't know how people will feel about other people knowing this. So I just went ahead and covered that up. But we'll go ahead and total this up, you know, once we actually finish January. So yeah, that's the quick flip through of our February budget book setup for the month of February. So again, these stickers are from Casey Lee Design. She does have a YouTube channel and also an Etsy shop. I apologize, I haven't figured out how to link the things below, so that's something that I am still working on. But nonetheless, this is the end of this video. Hope you like it. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you like this kind of content. Just to kind of put me in the radar out there, since this will actually be my second video up, which I'm so excited that the first one is, by the time this one is up, there should already be one up. So again, just excited to be in this community. Again, like and subscribe, comment if you can, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.